Nas is one of them man where like you can't allow him to come up with too many concepts in it, and like the whole death and rebirth thing, I can't trust someone like Nas with that. Do you know what I mean? Somewhere in that body of work, he's gonna have a howler. Cause you see with Nas, he don't even have normal howlers. Like he can't have a song where it's like it's just not my cup of tea. Like fam, like do you lot remember Zone Out? Fam, like who
produced that? Was that Alchemist?
I don't know who did that.
What's going on, world? Welcome to episode 106 of the Rhymes Like Dimes podcast. Your boys Peter,
Yo,
Mohammed,
You,
myself Yemi, and today we're joined by a special guest. He's an up-and-coming rapper with bags of wordplay, storytelling, and an expansive rhyming style that has marked him out as one on the rise. His 2024 project, LAMBETHNOTLA, was celebrated as one of the strongest to come out of the UK, portraying his experiences with love, nostalgia, and the anxieties of being a young black man existing in South London. And he's just getting started. Representing Lambeth, we welcome Ceebo to the pod today.
Hey, that's my best intro yet, man.
Come on, man.
on.
Had to, man.
Hey, man.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing alright, man. I can't complain, man. I can't complain. Doing well.
Nice,
Living life, man.
Thank you for joining us, bro.
I'm happy to be here, man.
Obviously come from Lambeth. It's not easy.
Yeah, no, it was cold still. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
this weather's different, man.
Yeah, it was cold.
Cold as
yeah,
hitting.
Alabama is too much, man. It's actually too much.
Telling you.
We're here though, man.
Yeah, man.
Boys, what we saying?
All good, bro. Glory to the Most High, man. How are you?
Always.
Hey, man.
Blessed, man. I'm blessed. Mo, yourself?
Chilling, man, chilling. Same old. God is good all the time.
All the time, God is good, man.
There we go.
We had a very rambunctious conversation pre-pod about a load of different things, so I know we're in the mood right now.
Industry's a dark place, man.
Cool.
So
Say
dark.
rambunctious.
Dark, bro.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a good word, man.
Compromised.
That's a Scrabble word.
Compromise.
That's the key word, man. Compromised.
One day we'll release those tapes. I
Wow.
don't know when that day will be, but we move. But yeah, shout out to everybody listening and watching. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all that. Thank you very much, appreciated. Ceebo, we have a tradition in this pod where whenever we have a guest, we ask them to name their top 5 favourite rappers. Could be UK, could be US, could be a mixture. What are you saying?
Oh, that's easy. Cool. Off rip, put a paper. We're gonna follow that up. Nas. Then gonna go back to the UK. Huss. Jay-Z. Then I'm gonna close that out with an Avellino.
Okay.
This is my 5.
Okay. Break down Potter.
So Potter, I think. Where do I start with this guy, man? I think as far as discography, you know, what do you call it? Like his highs for me represent like a mastery of like emotive language and storytelling and overall just lyricism that like, do you know what I mean? The UK like hasn't seen in many people. Do you know what I mean? Like to be able to produce songs like Purple Rain, Gangster Rap, they're just the bait ones. You know what I mean? Like just to be able to produce songs like those, do you know what I mean? Like, hey man, you win. You know, let alone if I start to talk about his B-sides like The Troubles, Wing Cleaners, you know what I mean? Like and so on and so forth, long time, this, that and the third. Like, you know, I think he's consistently, and I feel like with Real Back in Style, I was just like the bow, you know what I mean? The bow in the present. He's consistently proved himself to be, you know what I mean, like a top draw storyteller, you know what I mean, top draw artist, and like someone with like a singular vision, you know. And it's like, as far as just me personally, like on a bias thing, like it's just resonated with me in a way that, you know, many other artists like haven't been able to do. So yeah, man, he earns a spot on my 5. You know, next I believe I said was it Nas?
Nas.
Yeah.
Nas, indeed. I feel like it's kind of automatic for me. Do you know what I mean? Like I think, you know, even though his discography is kind of spotty, you know what I mean? Like I think his highs, like they like, or at least the first high, obviously revolutionized rap. There's nothing I can say about the first album that like hasn't already been said in it. But I think his constant innovation of like ways to tell a story on a rap song. Like, do you know what I mean? At the times they were being done, yeah, man, you're a visionary. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, the ways in which he was putting together words, the ways in which the concepts you came up with that landed, do you know what I mean? At the time you're doing, like, to be able to do what we done on Stillmatic in 2001, what we done on Godson, yeah, you know what I mean? You win, again.
Would you still say his discography is spotty?
Yeah, man.
Still?
Even after
Even
the
with like the King's
run.
Diseases, the Magics?
Hit Boy is not moving me.
Really?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, no.
That's fair.
I will say, those are like his most like solid, like some like. Do you know what I mean? You sound like yourself again. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Let me not just shit on everything. You know what I mean? Like King's Disease and Magic, like they were the first time since like Life is Good. Well, I listened to Nas. I was like, oh yeah, man, like let me build this up. But yeah, no, I just think that doesn't make up for like that weird nebulous point in the middle. I ain't even worried about Nostradamus and what's the Pharaoh thing?
I am.
Yeah, no.
That was alright.
I am was
No, the same argument happens all the time.
You see the
The
real
same
problem.
argument happens all
You
the
see
time.
when we get to that flipping Streets Disciple onwards, they was letting this nigga do anything, fam.
Yeah, he's getting
Yo, Streets Disciple all the way to the Untitled. Oh my god,
Yeah, for real.
That's a
was-
fact.
Yeah, that was a dark time, man. To be a
Yeah.
Nas fan, let's be real.
bro.
Let us be real.
Oh my goodness.
Hip Hop is
man.
Dead was Tupac's.
I enjoyed Hip Hop Is Dead though. I liked it, man.
Tupac's
I
of
didn't fuck
Cheeks,
with
bro.
it.
I remember like doing my first like Nas Discog dive because like obviously I found Nas in like 2016 because I was playing NBA 2K16 and like on the soundtrack they had Represent and they had Made You Look. I was like, bro, this old nigga's wavy, bro. This is hard. Like, no, let me listen. So like, man's listened to Illmatic, and obviously it's Illmatic. And I've listened to It Was Written. Do you know what I mean? And then like the two albums, I was like, oh, okay, but I've heard about Stillmatic innit? So like, I'll allow that. So man's heard Stillmatic here, and then man's thinking the 2000s, yeah, man, he's about to go on a crazy run.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Once I finished Godson, I got to the rest. I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? How many times can you
Streets
come back?
Disciple.
Do you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say?
No, I hear it.
So I was like,
That's a fair question.
yeah, no, man. Like in my mind, like that just doesn't like outside of a few key songs, like that run just doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
What do you have between It Was Written and Illmatic?
I'll say I'm still an Illmatic truther. I think It Was Written. I think in some ways like his writing became like more refined. But I will say that like there are just some songs that like, you know what I mean? They just you know what I mean? I think the album could have done without. You know, like Black Girl Lost. Hey man.
I liked it.
I don't even think it's bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think you see, there are a lot of songs here where Nas gets on a ledge where he really doesn't need to be on. Black Girl Lost is not the song I want to hear from you, man, bro. Put the mafioso raps in the bag. Do you know what I mean?
Funny.
Like, you know
It's
what I
actually
mean?
funny.
Like there's bare times he does it. Like you see on I Am, yeah. There's a song where he's like, I wanna talk to the governor and the CIA and the FBI. Like Nas does things for no reason, bro. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he just needs to concentrate. Like me and Amanda, yeah, we have a term. Like there's a lot of artists here that like we rate highly, but they need a TA in the studio. Do you know what I mean? Like they need someone to just pull them in and say, yo, you're just getting a bit too creative. You know what I mean? And Nas is one of them, man, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? Even the original plan for the I Am double album,
Yeah.
it's good that was lost. You know what I mean?
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
Like I've heard like some of the songs that like could have made it, yeah.
I think they ended up going on Lost Tapes.
Yeah. I was like,
Lost
yeah,
Tapes.
like those are solid cuts in
Yeah.
it. But like I just like something in me, like Nas is one of them man where like you can't allow him to come up with too many concepts in it. And like the whole death and rebirth thing, I can't trust someone like Nas with that. Do you know what I mean? He's somewhere in that body of work, he's gonna have a howler. Cause you see with Nas, yeah, he don't even have normal howlers. Like he can't have a song where it's like it's just not my cup of tea. Like fam, like do you lot remember Zone Out? Fam, like
Who produced that? Was that Alchemist?
I don't know who did that. I don't know who. Like fam, like Nas, yeah, he's one of them artists where it's either top bins, screamer, this is a classic, or it's a howler. Do you know what I mean? But even in that, I feel like his classics, they speak for themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so many we could list off. So like,
Salam Remy.
Oh damn.
Was it Salam Remy?
nah, he got man with it, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, like even in his like weaker moments, I think what makes him Nas still makes him Nas. You know, so it's like he has a spot on my top 5 for that. Now Huss, this may be a bit of a sentimental pick, innit? Because like, just for context, like when Huss debuted, like when Huss came onto the scene and was like, I am Huss. Do you know what I mean? Like, Them Boy Pagans, Lean and Bop. I was 12 going on 13. Do you know what I mean? So like, man's grown up with Huss's music, innit? But I think Huss, in like a UK context, yeah, I think like he was the first person to have like his blend of like, you know what I mean, charisma, pop sensibility, and yet still real lyricism. Do you know what I mean? I think with Common Sense, yeah, like I think that's like the only Afro swing album that like stands the test of time, and like there's a reason for that, innit? Like I think, do you know what I mean? He had such a mastery of what like makes him him. Do you know what I mean? Like he's someone that doesn't need a TA or didn't at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, just cook. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I feel like the watermark he set with that, you know, just on some artistry stuff, like just as far as the music, you know what I mean? That's already enough for me. But then to come back, you know, 3 years later, and reinvent what makes you you, as far as like, you know what I mean, your lyricism, your storytelling, like to deepen that, do you know what I mean? To elevate yourself as a lyricist that far into your career, do you know what I mean? I just think, yeah, man, this is the guy, do you know what I mean? And like even the soundscape musically completely different, and like till now in the UK we haven't heard an album like that. Do you know what I mean? We haven't heard something that we can say, yeah, this sounds like, do you know what I mean? It was inspired by Big Conspiracy. Do you know what I mean? Like nothing even comes close to like the vision of that album, you know what I mean? Exemplified in it. So it's like, I just think like as an artist here, like it's just been so crazy to see. Do you know what I mean? For him to do it once with Common Sense and then genuinely do it again. Do you know what I mean? In two completely different ways. So it's like, yeah, man. Like I feel like he earns a spot on my 5 as far as that.
Did you like Beautiful and Brutal Yard?
I liked it, but I knew it wasn't what, like there was a lot of hype around it that I didn't buy into. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought it was solid, but there was a period of songs, like there was a run of songs that I was like, yeah, man, this, do you know what I mean? Like they had a lot of fat. Do you know what I mean? It was like, you know what I mean? Like I think there's a great album in that track list.
Absolutely.
But, you know what I mean? Right now it's just something that like, yeah, I liked. You know what I mean? Like I listened to it a lot. But yeah, the next on my 5, it was Jay-Z. Now, Jay-Z again, that's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? I think, you know, like obviously like having done my research in a retrospect, like he caught a lot of flack for some of the music he was making in it, because it's like pop sensibilities, and still like back in the 90s they was like proper on their real rap. You know what I mean? Like if you wasn't like on the dusty beats, like yeah, like you're
Yemmy's man.
Do you know what I mean?
Black Moon and them man. OGC and them man.
Peter knows who he is.
Oh man,
The cheek of Peter to say that, by the way, yeah, is insane. Like, that's why I'm more laughing at. It's the fact that it's you that say it. Yeah.
You know that's Yemmy man.
Like, that's the
Grave
cheek of
diggers and
you.
them man. You know them
Grave
Wu-Tang,
diggers
them
is
side
funny.
Wu-Tang clicks. That's what Yemmy's man.
I want you to do me a favour, because I will bite now. I want you to do me a favour.
Sons of man.
Ask Peter who smooth the gambler is. Smooth the hustler. Smooth the hustler. Ask Peter who triggered the gambler is.
He's a rapper from Brooklyn, man.
Who's triggered the gambler?
He used to rap with a rapper called Smooth the Hustler.
Who's Smooth the Hustler?
They're from Brooklyn.
But who did they run with?
They run with themselves.
How do you know?
I don't
I was
know.
gonna say like,
Blame my
I
uncle.
never.
Blame my uncle, man. That's not my fault.
You don't. Yeah, but you.
Look at him copy, please. But yeah,
I ain't got-
there you go.
To be fair though, fun fact, they went dead presidents. The video, with like Biggie, AZ, all them man.
For real?
I was playing Monopoly and that.
Yeah. They were in that table.
Swear.
Jay-Z and the man, then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
The cheek for you to say that is insane.
As you were
I
saying,
appreciate
Ceebo.
it.
Right. Yeah, man. Like I feel like, you know what I mean? Like Jay-Z is like mastery of like just the skill of just rapping. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't necessarily have like the concepts of like a Nas, or like, do you know what I mean? Like the musical sensibilities of like an Outkast, or like he didn't really need them, because like that's someone that's like supreme in making anything sound live. Do you know what I mean? Whether it be through his wordplay or just like, you know what I mean, the way in which he's able to, like, there's bare quotables. Do you know what I mean? Like he had this singular charisma. You know what I mean? And then like to be able to see that, like to be able to go back and re-listen and like have that expressed over, you know what I mean, a first initial run of 6 albums, and then, you know what I mean, Kingdom Come. But then he came back, do you know what I mean? And then Blueprint 3, Magna Carta, you know what I mean? And then, you know, what's throwing 444, like to see someone that's like, you know what I mean, throughout all this time, like you know, his mastery of wordplay, flow. You know what I mean? Flows of all kinds, mind you. Do you know what I mean? Like that singular level of attainment that he reached, yeah, for that to be able to translate across generations, like, I think, hey man, you know what I mean? Like that's something, you know. So he earns a spot on my 5 just for that alone. You know what I mean? And then Avellino, that's my dark horse. You know what I mean? I'm fully okay with this pick, like not really making sense by like the metrics I just laid out.
It makes perfect sense.
Do you know what I mean? But I just think that just as a rapper, like just as far as the art of being a wordsmith, like he consistently has been one of the best, like alive. Do you know what I mean? I think, you know, like anytime he's got the chance to prove that, you know what I mean, whether it be like in a freestyle setting or Young Fire, Old Flame, or any song he's gotten with another lyricist, like he's consistently shown why his thing is different. And do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, man, like he's blowing me away. Like, do you know what I mean? So like for me, that's my 5, man.
Yeah, he dropped one of the best projects in recent memory. God Save the Streets.
That's a
Yeah,
fact.
man.
That was cold.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
Absolutely,
fact.
man. And as a proud South Londoner, what is your Mount Rushmore of South London rappers?
Cool. Mount Rushmore's 5, right?
4.
4. Cool. Obviously, man's a big Southwest specifically, but because it's South London, do you know what I mean, I have to give Southeast their pro. So, obviously,
How nice of you.
you know what I mean? Like, usually, I could make the whole Mount Rushmore, just man from Stockwell, but like, we don't even get there. Do you know what I mean? So, cool. I thought Gigs, mandatory pick. You know what I mean? It's Gigs, walking apart, pain is the essence. That's, do you know what I mean?
By force.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we don't even have to talk too much about that. Next, I'm gonna put LD / Scripps. You know what I mean? Again, Godfather of drill, whether you like it or not in the UK. Do you know what I mean? That's just that. Again, I think that's another mandatory pick. I think the next 2, for me, I'm gonna say, I can't. Yeah, no, it'll have to be Dave. I think. Do you know what I mean? I think, you know, psychodrama. Just, do you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like, you know, as far as like what that meant for the scene at the time, like, yeah, man, that earns you a spot on that automatically.
Right.
And then the last one, I think this could swing a lot of ways. I think it could. Do you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go with Young's Teflon. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say, just as far as like, again, pure wordsmiths, yeah, man, that's one of them ones. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's my 4.
Yeah, Peter's
No, I think that was the name I was waiting for.
Yeah, that's what you're waiting for.
Yeah, that was the name I was waiting for. Yeah. He's special, man.
Yeah, man.
He's been special, to be fair.
100%. Like, to rap at the level he has for
as long as he has.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
What's your favourite Tef project?
my favorite Tef. It's probably one of his more recent ones. Can't lie. I think it's All Eyes on Me Against the World.
Yeah.
Can't lie.
Yeah, same.
Like, I think that's mine still. 'Cause I think he's always had the lyricism, yeah. But like, as far as me as well, because like for his earlier stuff, like I'm listening in retrospect. Like, do you know what I mean? In 2013, I wasn't listening to Young Teflon because I was 11. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? Like some of his work from there, like simply just because of like the production at the time, like, you know what I mean? It hasn't aged the best. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, man, can't knock him for that, you know. But like, I feel like on his later projects, like I feel like that's when he's really began to,
Figured it out, innit? Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's began to click that from a musical side of things because like, he's always had the bars in it. So yeah, man, I think that's my favorite one.
I guess it just goes to show that a lot of these rappers just need the artistic growth, and then that just unlocks a lot
That's a
of different elements to them, right?
100%.
You can be the best barrer, but it doesn't necessarily translate. That's why there's so many people who, you know, from back in the day who could bar, never made the grade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why our scene doesn't really have that many amazing albums as well. Just because
They're just
you
nothing.
need
really.
growth for like, to kind of
Yeah.
tune into different types of musicality as well. And you know, our scene's still very much like, we're still kind of growing in it. So
Just got to the album figuring out stage, I think.
I mean, we just got
Yeah,
there. Like,
Yeah.
just got
yeah.
because it was so few. It was like Home Sweet Home, then it was I think, gaps between classic albums.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was a period where it was like not 3 in a row, but like you had Psychodrama, you had Common Sense, you had Big Conspiracy, and there was a period where it was just we figured this out now. We just know what we're gonna do.
And it still kind of feels like our scene are starting to understand the difference between a mixtape and an album as well.
100%.
I think that's really important, man.
100%.
Because I don't know, man. Like the graduation from that mixtape to album is, I think it's what's going to be so important for like how the mainstream receive a lot of the music from our scene as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want some of our greats sounding like, I don't want their albums sounding like their mixtapes. The mixtapes are the mixtapes. Like, I want albums, and what does that sound like?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of excited to see what that sounds like for a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I think like just right now, I think we're getting to the generation where like we've begun to understand like the difference between like being able to write a rap and songwriting. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like they are two completely different skills, isn't it? And it's like, you know, for the first decade and some change. You know what I mean? If we're looking at from the year 2000 onwards, do you know what I mean? Like naturally, like the formation of a genre, like they were still figuring things out. Do you know what I mean? But it's like now that we've had that context, and then obviously like, you know, because of like the way we're able to consume things, like we've also had the American, you know what I mean? Like we've also studied the American canon as far as music here. Like we get into a space where it's like, yeah, like the albums, like they begin to feel like albums. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man. Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I hear it, man. So, how does Ceebo's story in rap begin?
Ah, man. I was not a rapping nigga, man. Like, bare the people I know, like, they've been rapping since they was like 6, 8, 9. I was just out here, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be a rapper until I was like 17. Do you know what I mean? But that's not where it started. It's about 2018, September. I've just started year 11. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a rapper. I'm chilling. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm not really chilling, actually. I'm going through a tough time right now. Do you know what I mean? Grieving. You know what I mean? My first girl, we broke up, and the man them was laughing at me. Like, you know, they were there firing me up. So already, like, do you know what I mean? Like, and because we just started school, like, man's with the man them every day. Most of every day. It's like, oh, man, like, but you know what I mean? Like, a lot was going on, essentially. And man had taken up like writing poetry, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, just because like I didn't have anyone to talk to, do you know what I mean? And then something that started happening at school, you know what I mean? My year we started holding ciphers, innit? I'm not really sure why, do you know what I mean? Because like do you know what I mean? We had like one rapper in our year, like, we weren't, do you know what I mean? But like we just said fuck it, you know? And then one of the man them, yeah, big up A, yeah, one of the man them, he was like, alright, come rap, do you know what I mean? I don't rap. You know what I mean? But he just told me to. So I was like, cool. Yeah. And this was before like I realized that like I knew how to memorize raps. Do you know what I mean? So like man's scribbled down something in my notebook. I brought my notebook to school, and man's holding it in the cipher, man's reading it out, and people liked it. And I liked it. I was like, oh, this is fun. Do you know what I mean? So I kept rapping. And at the time, I was also like getting into listening to albums, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because before, like whatever's on daily mixtape madness, that's what we listen to, or whatever my mum has as you spin in the car, whatever CD, like cool, that's what I'm listening to. But like, now it's like I began to form my own taste, so it's like I began to look back at like the rap canon, US, UK, started listening. I was like, oh man, okay, cool. So like, you know, I began to form the skills, I guess, over the next few years. But like, I wasn't recording anything. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't, because like I didn't know where to start, so I didn't take rap seriously. Like I started when I was I just turned 16. I started listening and writing raps, you know, in my mid-16s. And from then until I turned 19, I recorded 3 songs. I'd only been in the studio 3 times in that period. So, like, do you know what I mean? I was really living. Then, cool. 19, I told a girl who was already at the uni that I was going to, that, look, like, I'm trying to get this rap thing going on Red Test there. Because she was in with the Hip Hop Society at the uni I went to, which was Warwick. You know what I mean? So she was like, cool. When you touch down, come to this Hip Hop Society event. There's a couple people there I want to introduce you to. Cool.
Warwick has a Hip Hop Society?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
I only went one time though, because I saw what type of time they was on, you know what I mean? Enough white people.
It's bro.
You know what I mean?
Russell Group University, yeah.
They was paying Snoop Dogg, they was treating out like it was robbery or something, you know what I mean? That shit was crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, But that's neither here nor there. You know, I just got to the Hip Hop Society event, whatever. Met the girl, Estrella. Do you know what I mean? She's introduced me to someone that's an engineer. His name is Zenith. Big up Zenith. You know what I mean? I've held him up right today. He's like, bro, anytime you want to record, just shout me, roll through to my a comm. Cause he had a mic set up in his comm. Right there. He was like, it's like £40 to mix master a track. Right there. I was like, say no more. Cool. So that's done that. That was in late September, because it was a couple of days after my birthday when I butted into them. Then November, I record my next few songs that would go on to come out. And then I held on to them because, like, I don't know, I just didn't feel like dropping. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it didn't feel right. Then 2022, I just finished my first year. I was like, cool, let's do this now. Do you know what I mean? Let's try release. And like, even then, like, I didn't really conceive of it. I was like, yeah, I'm starting my career. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is, I'm gonna go on to do what I'm gonna do. Like, I didn't see it that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only last year really that I was like, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's how it started. Essentially, it's mad anticlimactic. Like, do you know what I mean? It just happened to be a series of happy coincidences. Like, I wasn't even meant to go to the uni that I went to. I was meant to go Manny. Do you know what I mean? But like, I didn't get into Manny, and like, work was my second choice. And then like, once I told her that, she was like, cool, come, red hair, this, that, and the third. And then from then on, I ended up going to the studio a bit more regularly. Do you know what I mean? Recording more. Like, I was just trying the thing, innit? And then like, it got to a point where I was like, oh no, I actually want to do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just having fun anymore. Do you know what I mean?
When
like,
was that turning point?
When I released Before I Was Ceebo, that song, I released it early 2023, yeah. I think that's the first song where like, I really got it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really nailed down like what makes me as an artist. Do you know what I mean? And like, when I released it, and like, I saw people, obviously it was on a small scale, yeah, but like, I saw people taking me seriously as an artist. Like, I'm not just the uni boy that raps, but you're seeing me as I am presenting. Do you know what I mean? It was like, cool, let me try to do this again. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like a light bulb switch. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, like, no, like, this is actually like, there's something in this for me. And as far as like, just the satisfaction of like, dropping something, a body of work that like people take to. Do you know what I mean? Like, and as well, like, you know, throughout the whole time where like I wasn't really releasing music, like, it was still like a vow for me. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If I'm feeling whatever the case may be, like, I may write it down, and that helped, you know? So yeah, like, it got to a point where I was like, no, like, I have to keep going. Do you know what I mean? And I'll say that was a turning point when I dropped Before I Was See. I feel like that was like the first time where like I dropped a song that wasn't just me trying to sing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually approached it like, cool, song structure, what do you call it? This is my message, like, so yeah. Like,
what sort of music did you hear at home? And I'm curious about how that might have impacted the artist that you are now.
Well, obviously, I grew up in an Angolan household, yeah, but the tribe I'm from is a tribe that's in Congo, innit? So, what do you call it? They're called the Bakongo. You know what I mean? So my mum, dad speak Lingala, I speak Lingala. Do you know what I mean? So like, they was playing a lot of Congolese music around the house. Do you know what I mean? But my mum also happened to be like a big hip hop head when I was younger, innit? So like, when I was playing like MTV on the TV, and it was stuff that like, looking back, wasn't really age appropriate, she would loud. Do you know what I mean? She's like, yeah, I like Nelly too, and Kanye and too. You know what I mean? So my first, like, when people ask me like, who are the first rappers that you remember hearing, my answer like is always Johnny Guns, Kanye West, and 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Those are artists that like, yeah, man. Because with Johnny Guns, man grew up on New Park Road, innit? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that is local. Do you know what I mean? So I went to my brethren's house, and his big brother, he was like, I don't know, like 16 at the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, was playing Johnny Guns. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, this guy is hard, man. I never heard nothing like this before. Do you know what I mean?
Was that when he was John Wayne?
Yeah. Dumb. But yeah, like, but really though, like, my mum was playing like a diverse set of music in the house, innit? Like she just didn't like stuff with cursing in it, so I couldn't listen to rap too much. Do you know what I mean? So more time. When I was like, up until I was like 12 years old, yeah, I'd be listening to mostly, you know what I mean, whatever came on the radio, smooth radio a lot. My mum really likes the selection of smooth radio, like, do you know what I mean? So I'd be listening to that. Congolese gospel, like, you know what I mean? I was a church boy, do you know what I mean? By force, naturally, you know. So yeah, and like as far as how that shaped me, you know, when it came to being like time for me to take being a rapper seriously, yeah, like because of the blend of music that like I listened to, yeah, like I had an understanding of like crafting songs, or like it came easier to me than it did my peers that were rapping at the same time, innit? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I wasn't just listening to Man on the Ends. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just gave me a perspective that like others really didn't have in it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I'm approaching, you know, crafting music now, yeah, like a lot of it is shaped by that time and like the music I like then, and like yeah, like cool, like what do they do here? How do they do it? How can I take from that? Do you know what I mean? On a subconscious level. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, like that's how I say like that period just influences me.
Do you think the musicality of what you were hearing impacted your writing process as well?
Because like it's weird to put into like technical terms in it, but you know, like just how I think of it, like, you know, the musicality and like the way in which you're saying things and what you say, they interact in it. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the times, yeah, like being a rapper, like it's easy to just like say, cool, man's rapping, and then the rest can figure itself out. Do you know what I mean? But it's like there's an attention to detail required in like your delivery, your cadence, the words you choose specifically because of how they sound, whether it be like the consonants or the assonants, like, do you know what I mean? All that type of stuff, like, do you know what I mean? And the stuff that, you know, like you have to pay attention to the musicality to like, do you know what I mean? Like you gotta be cognizant of it. So yeah, therefore, it affects the way I write in it because I keep that in mind. So
yeah, and I think it shows in the music you make as well, because it is very dynamic. Like you can hop on various sounds and be comfortable as well, and I suppose that's the result of taking in so many approaches to music, styles, genres and stuff like that. So you're very much a product of that.
Definitely, because like when I was growing up, like I wasn't around like hashtag hip hop hits. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like there wasn't anything that was like real rap. Do you get what I'm trying to say? To us, me, it was like, do I like it? Do I not like it? If I like it, I'm rolling. Do you know what I mean? So like, hey man, one day we're listening to It's My Birthday by will.i.am. You know what I mean? The next, Migraine Skank. Do you know what I mean? Like me and like, I'll say like my friendship group, you know, like it was a thing where like, because we grew up with parents that were like, do you know what I mean? Like that didn't care. Do you know what I mean? As far as that, like it was very much, okay, cool. Like, do you know what I mean? If whatever we like, we like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, like that just allowed me to have like, I don't have a restricted palette as far as like, do you know what I mean? What I'm willing to do as an artist, like, do you know what I mean? Like everything is cool as long as it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that's how I see it.
And as your interest in rap and rapping develops as well, you see what's happening in the UK as well. It's very much the peak of this new era of, you know, renaissance, as you might say, of UK music, UK black music. How influential was that for you as you were coming up?
Crazy influential. If I'm looking back at like the first wave of truly alternative music, so like man like House of Pharaohs, big up Samwise, do you know what I mean? Like that wave onwards, like him, Miles from Kinshasa, you know what I mean? Oscar World Peace, Kadiata, like all of that, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like they were the first ones for me anyway, especially coming from where I come from, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like I spoke on this like a week ago, innit? But like coming from Lambeth specifically, there is a certain type of music you have to make.
Absolutely,
do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like if you're not doing a road rap thing, if you're not doing a drill thing, if you're not a DJ, you're not going nowhere. Do you know what I mean? But so seeing these lot do it the way they did, for me, it's like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? So like I can take these risks musically and have them pay off, and I can do this instead of this. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't have to lean into certain things, and then when we see that evolve into the next waves with, you know what I mean, obviously the chill rap man were doing their thing, and then now with the emergence of, you know what I mean, whatever people are calling it right now, I think Ozbat is the name that's being decided on.
Is that the name of the genre?
According to some, you know what I mean? Like,
What's it called?
Ozbat.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Again, according to some, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing them, man, again, like, I'll say that their influence has been, like, more, like, do you know what I mean, implicit in as far as, like, you know what I mean, being in a studio with someone from that school of thought and seeing the way they approach songwriting and the way, alright, cool. So with me, I'm very much, because I started off like not being in the studio, there's a heavy emphasis on my words. So like if I'm writing a song, I'm starting with the words, I'm starting with the concept. Like that is fleshed out before I make the song. Do you know what I mean? So I'll go to the studio with the song written. But if I'm in the studio with these man whose main influences were the Young Thugs, the Futures, the Max B's, they're approaching a song from a musicality standpoint.
Yeah.
So they're going, cool, melody first, hooks first, cool. Man's gonna, what do you call it? I'm gonna lay out a reference for myself and then fill in the words after the fact. Do you know what I mean? Just being around that has helped me make my music more dynamic. Do you know what I mean? Like, in as far as like, okay, so if I do this instead, do you know what I mean? It's gonna get this result. Do you know what I mean? So definitely, like, in as far as like just mastering my own craft, like them lot have like seeing it play out has definitely helped, like in every way possible. So yeah, man. Like,
And how has that process been as far as like adapting to like a new style that maybe you weren't used to? Was it kind of difficult to kind of comprehend, or was it something you kind of just took in your stride?
I think for me the adaptation happened mad early. So it's like, for me, yeah, when I first started writing songs, I was writing to boom bap. Do you know what I mean? Like I was making boom bap. Like I wanted to make music in the vein of a Kofi Stone. Big up Kofi. You know what I mean? As opposed to like what I'm doing now, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like I wanted to, you know what I mean? Like proper like follow that vein of like, yeah, man, like lyricism first. Like the music can be built around the lyricism, but obviously when I got to uni, what happened was, like, what do you call it? I started doing essentially the underground uni circuit. Like, not like, yeah, like man's performing at ACS, Well, I did do that, but what do you call it? Like these proper, you know what I mean? Like these spots were like unknowns. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, cool, open mics, cool. Someone I know someone that's done me a favor and they got me a slot, 15 minutes, start of the show. Do you know what I mean? What do you call it? Being in those venues, it's made me see the type of music people gravitate to and the type of music that they don't in a live setting. So seeing that, I've now looked at my music, I've said, cool, if I want to get this to a certain space of people hearing it, do you know what I mean? And even just watching the way people around me, like, you know what I mean, other fellow uni students that like don't care about music like that, watching the way they consume it, I think, all right, cool. So this whole lyricism first thing is great, but it's not going to get me what I want. Do you know what I mean? So my adaptation really came there. Do you know what I mean? So like if you listen to my first 3 songs, you'll hear that they're very much made in the vein of cool. Lyricism first, you know what I mean? The song should be built around the lyricism, you know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it gets different results in it. So once I've seen that, okay, cool. So that's when I decided, cool, I'm gonna have to teach myself again to be able to do what makes me on different tempos, on different soundscapes. What do you call it? Play with my delivery, So now that we're in this new phase, like it's just another. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't hard for me to adapt because I already did the adapting 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean? At least like in my journey. So it's like, yeah, like, you know, it's been relatively easy for me to make. You know what I mean? Like when you lot hear the music that I'm coming out with, you lot are gonna see. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not. You know what I mean? It wasn't really that hard. So
and with that adaptation, did you feel like you were compromising at all?
No, because I wanted to. Do you know what I mean? Like as far as me, yeah, I'll say, you know, like because of my musical rearing, yeah, again, like, do you know what I mean? There wasn't anything that was real or fake to me. Do you know what I mean? I either liked it or I didn't. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like I wasn't really like, like, you know what I mean? Like this isn't real UK rap, or this isn't full of culture, this, that, and the third. Like it was more so cool. This is hard, it's hard. So like for me, yeah, I didn't consider it like a change of direction as opposed to like a switch of lanes. Do you know what I mean? And like, as far as even the way in which I'm doing it, I'm not doing it in the way that they're doing it. I'm doing it in my way. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, when I'm making the music, it's not like I'm making music that like I'm not as happy with, but I'm releasing it. I'm making music that like, you know what I mean? I'm genuinely believing in. Do you know what I mean? It's just different to what I made before. And it's like, you know, that's not a true compromise. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it's really, you know, easy. So yeah.
Okay.
And even with your music in the past, like even like your first project, Blue K, like there is like a paying of a homage sort of to like the stuff you listen to and the stuff you're a product of, especially considering where you're from. Like there is like kind of glossy UK rap and all that as well. So it's like you can see in real time you like developing, and while also like staying true to who you are as an artist as you're developing, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's all it all results in being authentic to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, it feels like that even if you go from that project to LAMBETHNOTLA LA as well, when songs like Icarus, it kind of feels like it's just a natural, not I wouldn't even say maturation, but just a natural exploration of, I guess, pockets that are within your talent as well. You know what I'm saying?
And you're not pigeonholing yourself either, because there's so many different sounds on both projects as well. But it just goes to show that you're influencing, you know, where you want to take your music, sort of thing.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I think as far as myself as an artist, like, it took a long time to decide it, but it's like, I want to be someone whose music, like, do you know what I mean, dabbles in a bit of everything, because, like, that reflects who I am as a person. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, as far as who I associate with, it's a lot of different types of people. Do you know what I mean? Simply just because, like, that's who I am. Like, I'm a people person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in a lot of circles. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that exposes me to a lot of different things, and therefore a lot of different influences. So do you know what I mean? My music reflecting that is only natural, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's you know, that's just the most natural version of me, innit? As opposed to like trying to make one thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not how I approach music, you know? So, or life. So yeah.
And that sounds like really like freeing and fun to just feel like, you know what, I can kind of do whatever I feel like doing. I don't feel like I have to be pigeonholed with like, you know, that sort of sound or that collective of people or that. It just feels like I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something people find out later on in life. I think so for you to find out earlier on in your career, it's dope, because I think a lot of people get that freeness years down the line.
Yeah, because it's like, if we look at, what do you call it, like my career progression, yeah, like a lot of people, like, they feel trapped because like they actually find success within one thing. So like they feel like there's actually an incentive for them to stay in that pigeonhole, and there's actually a risk to them coming out of it. Nigga like me, I was performing in people's basements. It really didn't matter what I was doing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, cool, I may as well change. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's not anything on the line. And like with me, yeah, one thing I always tell like the people around me, yeah, cause like now that obviously like I'm an artist, so like a teeny tiny bit of buzz, like people like ask me for advice, and it's like one thing I'll remind them is that, guys, we're just making songs. You know what I mean? That's all we're doing. You know, a lot of artists, yeah, like they get so wrapped up in like the process and like their goals and their wants, like they make this way more, like they make it more high scales than it has to be in it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I know that obviously music can go on to have influence that is high scales, but for the normal artist, we are just making songs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not live and die. If you release something where you was trying a thing and it doesn't work, you're not written off. It just didn't work. Like, I keep telling people, rappers at WWE, do you know what I mean? Everything you did, like, if you're an upcoming wrestler, yeah, everything you do while coming up does not matter. Everything you do from when you come up, that's all people will remember. Do you know what I mean? Like, we talk about Stone Cold. You know what I mean? No one cares about the time where Steve Austin had hair. Do you know what I mean?
I'm talking about ECW. Steve Austin, yeah.
When he was with the $1 Million Man, no one really cares about that era.
I heard you mention a Mankind. I think you had a Mankind bar as well.
Yeah.
You already? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, big wrestling head. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, wrestling actually helps like inform the way I look at rapping. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like, as far as like the way in which the average consumer looks at things, they don't really care that much. Like, let's say Drake releases a song that, what do you call it? He was trying to sing, it didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's a fact.
Do you know what I mean? And you don't even have to be Drake for that to be the case. You know what I mean? All you have to do is, cool. Why did it not work? What happened there? Do you know what I mean? Oh, okay, was it the cadence or the beat or red? Cool. Next time you do it, you know now. People are gonna remember the next time, not the first time. They're not gonna. If you give them a good song in that vein, they're not gonna say, but the first time you did it, it wasn't banging, so I'm not taking it. Do you know what I mean? That's not how the consumer works. The consumer wants to be. They want to enjoy your music. Do you know what I mean? That's what you have to remember. So just do it. You get what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's a case of, cool, what I'm doing isn't really working to begin with. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like successful. Do you know what I mean? I'm just here. You know what I mean? I'm making boom bap songs to no one. You know what I mean? Not that like, you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But that's not what I wanted. So it's like, cool, changing it up hey man, this seems like a win-win. Do you know what I mean? If it doesn't work, I'm not going, there's no further down than here. If it works, we're up. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I seen it. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that's about all it came down to me. Do you know what I mean? So
it's a very grown up way of thinking of things, because a lot of people will be like compromising or building a style for themselves that maybe they get a bit of buzz for, and then changing it up is a bit like a betrayal of their come up. But ultimately, artistry is about trying things and making sure that you are comfortable in that. Because if you're not comfortable, that's when you start putting pressure on yourself. And when you're not like adept to dealing with what the fans might say or what the consumers might say, that's when things get techie. But you seem very like sure of yourself that you're doing what you love doing.
yeah, because it's like, you know what I mean? As an artist, yeah, like there's only so far you're gonna get like relying on other people's validation to let you know what you're doing is right. Do you know what I mean? So like, you know, if you're used to people telling you what you're doing as well, and like you try a thing and then they say no, do you know what I mean? That's gonna fuck with you. Do you know what I mean? With me, listen, man, I've gone a long time without the validation I've got the last year. So like, it really doesn't mean that much to me, especially because like my self-worth, like I don't hinge it on music. Like I said, I just started wanting to be a rapper. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not that, the stakes are not that high for me. Do you know what I mean? To where, you know, I feel the need to conform to a standard that I set. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do another different thing and you're gonna like it. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a lot of times artists feel like it's do or die. It's never been do or die. It's only do or die if you let it be that. Do you know what I mean? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, as long as you set the precedent, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Like, if, like, for me, yeah, I'm still upcoming. So it's like the fact that, you know, people can look at me and say, yeah, man, that's someone with a range of sounds. There's not really a surprise. Do you know what I mean? So if I do something, which I will, do something that's different from Lambeth Not LA, people are not going to be outraged and say, give us a Lambeth Not LA. Lambeth Not LA in and of itself is a wide range of sounds. Do you know what I mean? So if I take that wider, hey man, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what you came for. You know what I mean? Is it good or is it not? So yeah, like, as far as music, it's all X's and O's. Like, you know what I mean? It's not that hard for me. So yeah.
You're a basketball guy as well.
Yeah, I was, but my knees are fried, man.
Fairs.
Oh man, I wake up, knees just hurting, bro.
It's clicking.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's clicking.
Like, yeah,
that's crazy.
But I did play basketball in my youth. Yeah, like when I was like a teen, then I stopped when I got to sixth form. Cause like my sixth form it didn't have no courts, and like we weren't actually bothered to go play that much. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, cool. We're just done now. But yeah.
Yeah, man. But as far as like career progression goes, I mean, obviously now you've dropped before Ceebo. What kind of doors did that open for you?
With Lambeth Not LA, yeah. As far as like the doors that open for me, like I met a lot of cool artists that like I actually look up to musically. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of men that like, you know, that they saw that and like they was like, yeah man, this is the one, I want to work with you. So like, you know what I mean? Big up man like Jim, big up, there's so many man I could big up right now. Big up, you know what I mean? Bex, TR, all them man, do you know what I mean? Like everyone I've met, you know. So like that in and of itself has improved my music, because it's like, you know, okay, cool, I was working with producers that like are of a certain level, do you know what I mean? And like that's changed the music I'm producing. So like as far as like from an artistry point, you know, Lambeth Not LA has opened the door to me becoming better, do you know what I mean? And like being around certain types that have improved my artistry. And then obviously in the X's and O's type of way, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people like behind the scenes and a lot of tastemakers who have like, yo, like we support you, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, so now like, because of that, you know, there's now like, I guess, a buzz, a little bit of a buzz. So it's like, do you know what I mean? Anything I do from now on, alright, cool, it's going to be bigger than the last. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that in and of itself could have knock-on effects for my career as a whole. But yeah, man, just chilling really. You know what I mean? Like people think that Lambeth Not LA like was like super impactful in it. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm still 9 to 5 in it. So like, you know, only so impactful. Do you know what I mean? Cause like when me and my manager, we was asking for distro deals, they was like, get the fuck out of here. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, man. Like as far as the impact, or as far as the doors is open, it's definitely open doors that like man's grateful for, innit? But again, I can't overrate it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
In terms of the distro deals, though, is that because you weren't hitting certain marks, or like you didn't fit a specific profile, without revealing too much?
It's said marks. You know what I mean, numbers in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, but they'll hide it behind. Oh, we like you as an artist, but we feel like it might just be too early. Oh, we're gonna wait to see how it plays out. You know what I mean? Like all that type of talk in it. Do you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Big up the people that in the industry that actually have helped. Do you know what I mean? Like there's been a lot of doors that have been open in that sense. Do you know what I mean? Like on a genuine thing. So you know what I mean? Grateful for that always. Yeah.
Do any of those knockbacks impact your artistry in any way?
Nah, man.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Because like I made LAMBETHNOTLA with what, £300. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean? Like the connects that I have like in real life. Do you know what I mean? Like real people I know, real, you know. So like as far as the music industry like not embracing me fully, like that's not, it doesn't have to be a chip on the shoulder. It just means cool. So this project we weren't able to achieve this. Cool. Let's see why. Oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? Let's do this time around. See what happens. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, just taking it in stride, really. Like, I understand that the music business is a business first, isn't it? So it's like, obviously, you know, when you're comparing Ceebo to a lot of other artists that like may give you a quicker return on investment, do you know what I mean? Yeah, as a label, that's my job. You know what I mean? I'm gonna, or as a distributor, I'm looking at the one that's gonna most likely to give me the most money the quickest. So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's not really something to take to heart. It's just like, cool. In terms of that, okay, let's take that in stride. Let's add this to our pot musically. Let's, do you know what I mean? Try and change things. Let's try this. You know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? Like it's like tinkering. You know what I mean? Just, you know, taking out and putting in pieces until we get the result we want that allows us to like be able to do music full time. That's the goal in it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And on the flip of that as well, with all the buzz and the plaudits that LAMBETHNOTLA LA is getting, how do you negotiate that? Does that made you change your perception of yourself or the music you make, or maybe even the project itself?
I'll say it has changed the perception of myself. Not necessarily like the accolades, but more so like the way people talk about me, like as an artist from then onwards, innit? Like LAMBETHNOTLA, obviously as a project, yeah, like, you know, it's deeply personal, it's emotional, all these things, do you know what I mean, that critics have said. And like because of that, like a lot of people have reached out to me and said, yo, like your work is so important, like, you know what I mean, keep doing what you're doing, you know, what do you call it, like this song really affected, man. I was like, raw, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, as an artist, yeah, like obviously when you're 18, 19, 20, you're just making songs because it's fun. I'm just making songs because I want to. I'm just making songs because, do you know what I mean, this is the way I say things. Do you know what I mean? But the older I'm getting, I'm now seeing the responsibility I have as an artist. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just, regardless of whether I like it or not, I'm not just speaking for and to myself. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that means naturally that look, the way I perceive myself is that I'm not just a rapper. Do you know what I mean? And as far as that, cool. Like, I'm not just doing this for money, for accolades, for all these, whatever the case may be. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's actually people relying on me to keep it authentic, to, do you know what I mean, to say things that they can't speak to. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I remember like conversation I had like a week and a half before LAMBETHNOTLA dropped, yeah. I was talking to one of the men, and one of my long-time boys, like, they got a Rolo. Do you know what I mean? I've known him for years. Like, that's my brother for real, like, do you know what I mean? And he was saying to me, yeah, because I sent them the project earlier, obviously, and he was saying to me that he listened to the project and he cried. Do you know what I mean? And my boy Rolo, yeah, he's not really a crier, innit? He's like me, innit? To where like, cool, if life does you, let's just keep it stepping, innit? Do you know what I mean? But he said he cried listening to the project, yeah, because like, he heard me put things that he felt and had been through into words. Do you know what I mean? That like he couldn't find. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, I don't take that position for granted. Do you know what I mean? Like, if man's here doing this thing and what I'm saying is actually connecting to people on that level, then it's like, I can't view myself as just a rapper trying to blow. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know what I mean? Even though I'm not doing it on a scale that looks big from a metric side, just as me as a person, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no other way I would have been able to get the message I'm getting other than this music, innit? So the fact that this many people feel the way they do, I mean, like 1,000 people feeling like, yeah, man, you just said my truth. That's a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know in music, like, that's seen as like a puny number. Like, when you talk to artists, yeah, like, they'll see something like that and like they're thinking about the next, so like they're not happy with that. But like, man's able to say that is a lot of people that I wouldn't otherwise have been able to speak to or speak for. Do you know what I mean? So it's like seeing myself as an artist, as a rapper, like, do you know what I mean? You know, like, I have to take it seriously in a way that, you know what I mean, a lot of my peers aren't, essentially. Do you know what I mean? Because like they're not really seeing it in that way, which is fine. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just feel like just who I am as a person, yeah, like it's like a matter of morals and ethics. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man, like it's definitely changed how I see myself as a rapper. Do you know what I mean? But more so in the way that like the average person, consumer, is interactive with my music, and less so to do with like ending up on a list or like, do you know what I mean, someone in the industry and saying, yo, like, this is hard. Do you know what I mean? Even though like I appreciate, you know, them like recognizing that it's a good body of work, and I recognizing that, you know what I mean, me and the people that worked on the project are talented. Like, that's not really what has changed things. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
It sounds like there's like a sense of responsibility that you feel with your artistry. And there was a Nina Simone quote that was just going around in my head as you were talking, where she talks about reflecting the times and being truthful. And it sounds like that's the sort of, I guess, vein that you're walking in as well.
Because it's like, I remember this, yeah. I will never ever forget this conversation I had. I was 16. This is like when I just started. I was like, cool. I was actually in Tottenham. I was in my what do you call it? I was in my uncle arts yard. Yeah, I loved him to death. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like my second home, innit? So I was there, yeah, just on a Saturday or Sunday, whatever, just baking off, innit? I remember I was talking to my uncle, and he asked me, what do I want to do? And I told him, I want to rap. Do you know what I mean? And like, usually, yeah, to say this to an uncle, like, do you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, just louder. Do you know what I mean? Just do your book. Just do your books. Do you know what I mean? Just chill. But like, he was actually leveling with me, innit? Do you know what I mean? He was like, cool, you wanna rap, yeah? Alright, cool. About what? Do you know what I mean? I was like, my life, innit? And like, we was just going back and forth, yeah. And then the thing he said that like has stuck in my head till this day, that like I didn't really know why he said it then, but now I'm in the position I'm in. It makes like, it was like prophecy, innit? He was like, if you're gonna rap, make sure you rap about what it means to be black in this country, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I was like at the time, yeah, I'm like, I'm 16. I'm not trying to, I mean, I'm not this preacher thing, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is out, like, I didn't give a fuck, like, I didn't care at all, do you know what I mean? But like, now, I'm seeing the impact that like words that I said, essentially like, there's things I wrote that I didn't write with the intention of having an impact. I wrote them because they're true. Do you know what I mean? I wrote them because that's how I feel. That's what I was thinking at the time. And people have said, yo, when you said, and then they'll quote this line, they'll say, nah, like, that proper resonated with me, It's like, in the face of that, there's a responsibility I have. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a choice anymore. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, in the face of that, like, there's certain things that like my music has to reflect. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, I do see my platform, however small it is, however big it gets in the future, as something to use for something bigger than just gain. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah, 100%. Like, I do feel a responsibility to like, you know, like be someone that's authentic in that sense. So yeah.
How difficult was it for you to write Icarus?
It actually wasn't that hard.
No,
to be
real?
honest. Yeah, man. That's like, oh man, I got so many stories, man. Like, do you know what it was? Yeah, like when it comes to things that what do you call it? Deal with that type of subject matter, yeah. Like observing dark stuff, yeah. That is like my whole childhood, adolescence. Do you know what I mean? Like stuff that like happened, like things in the vein of what happened on that song is like, that's not the, I could do that 10 times over. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, for me, yeah, it was really just an exercise of just saying what I saw. Do you know what I mean? Saying what, calling it how I saw it, innit? Do you know what I mean? And like, that's never been the hard part for me musically, because like, that's essentially what made me make music. Do you know what I mean? Just that observation. Because like, I've always been observant, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it's like, with me, yeah, with a song like that, there wasn't really like a side that was like, or an emotional side to me that was like tortured in the process of making it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it was if anything, yeah, it was like, it was good to say. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, alright, cool. Like, do you know what I mean? This has been in my mind for a while. Like, I've been dying for a chance to say this. Do you know what I mean? If anything, yeah, for me, purely because of how I am as a person, yeah, like the songs I find harder to make are like the self-reflective ones. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to the ones that are like, do you know what I mean? Talking about the experiences that I see in it. Do you know what I mean? But that's just me in it. Like, I for me, I'll say the song that was actually hardest to write was like the outro, like Devil Is a Lie. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to that type of introspection, yeah, like when you're actually like sizing up what's in the mirror, like, do you know what I mean? It can get to a point where it's like uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't find doing it cathartic, you know? It's like, yeah, like I'm confronting some like darker stuff about me now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I have to reckon with that to be able to say this in a song. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, going through that process is harder to me than like, do you know what I mean?
You can't hide from it either. You can't hide from yourself.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's like, with a song like that, yeah, I have to be vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? I have to put myself in my proverbial firing line. Do you know what I mean? And like, as an artist, yeah, especially as a rapper, like, the instinct is to try and make yourself larger than life, to try and make it seem as though you don't have flaws of that nature or
Ego,
insecurities. Do you know what I mean?
bravado.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the instinct. Do you know what I mean? The competition, right, like leaning on that. But the reality of life is not that. The reality of life is that, do you know what I mean? Like, in our heads, those darker crevices are there, whether we want to say it or not. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, to be able to bring that out, like, that takes more out of me than like talking about something I saw that's like unsettling. Because for like, one of the points of LAMBETHNOTLA, yeah, is that everything we see is unsettling. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's just another notch. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's how I see it, or that's how I saw it when I was writing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I hear it, man. I mean, we hear this phrase all the time in rap, especially critically acclaimed. Does that mean anything to you?
Nah, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, again, thanks to the critics, you know, I appreciate the fact that, you know, they took time out of their day to listen and whatever, but like, you know, it doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, in the grand scheme of things, as me as an artist, like, I didn't start doing this for critics validation. I didn't start making music because I wanted to be remembered as a legend. Do you know what I mean? I actually couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like ideas of like legacy and being remembered as like one of the greats, yeah. Like, you know, I won't knock that for the next person, but as far as me, yeah, it doesn't validate me. Like, when I'm dead, I'm dead. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're reviewed, like, it's not gonna get me heaven. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, as far as like what it means to me as an artist, yeah, it's like, regardless of whether it's good or bad, it doesn't have any bearing on my artistry. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is I'm doing in the studio, whatever it is I'm writing, it's between me and the big man. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything else is everything else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's going to be work I release that gets panned. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure at the end of the day, like, it's going to happen, you know, simply because, like, I'm not really working to pander to anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not working to impress anyone. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The fact that I have is a bonus. But I would have made LAMBETHNOTLA and I would have been proud of it, even if it had a similar reaction to Blue K, to where, like, do you know what I mean? No one really heard it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, LAMBETHNOTLA is not validated to me because it ended up in the Complex Best Albums of the Year list. Do you know what I mean? To me, it was validated the moment where someone was able to say to me, this means something to me. Do you know what I mean? Because the fact I'm making something that means something to you and it means something to me at the same time, as an artist, that's the only gratification. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, it took me a long time to get to this point. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, this is what I want, you know? So, yeah, like, as far as it being critically acclaimed, like, it's cool and all, but, you know, like, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things to me. It's like, yeah, like, you know?
Yeah, your artistry in your community means a lot more. Yeah.
So,
What was the biggest difference in your creative process from Blue K to LAMBETHNOTLA?
With Blue K, yeah, simply because of constraints on, like, where I was and, like, what do you call it, like, the way in which I was approaching the music, yeah. Like, I didn't go into that year thinking, cool, I'm gonna make a cohesive body of work. And like obviously Blue K, yeah, like it's got its positives, but you can tell when listening to it. Do you know what I mean? Like I approached it like a collection of separate songs. Do you know what I mean? And you know, like the songs, they were recorded in complete isolation. Like when I was recording them, I didn't have anything else in mind. Do you know what I mean? I was just recording that song. Do you know what I mean? And then once I felt like we'd recorded enough songs, I was like, cool, let's put it together. Do you know what I mean? In an order that makes sense. But it wasn't really like, cool, I'm making this to flow into this. Oh, maybe we should swap this out because sonically it doesn't really match with this. Like, I wasn't when I was making the songs, I wasn't really thinking of the whole. Do you know what I mean? I was just thinking of the songs. Cool, is this song good? Cool. In the vault, we'll revisit this when it's time close to release, or it's close to when I wanted to release. Then with Lambeth Not LA, like just after Blue K released, like 2 weeks after Blue K released, I thought to myself, this isn't enough. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like anything happened to make me think that this isn't enough. I just listened to the project and I was like, I can do better. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can push myself. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I was like, cool. I'm gonna make, like in my head, I had it. I'm gonna make Lambeth Not LA. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do that. You know, it's gonna be cohesive. It's gonna tell my story. It's gonna be this, that, and the third. Like, I'm going to communicate what I have to communicate in the way that I'm going to, and it's gonna make sense. Like, I didn't have the direct pathway. I didn't know who I was gonna have specifically on the project. Like, I didn't know that I was gonna make Icarus or like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know those specifics, but I went into it from day dot knowing that Lambeth Not LA would be the end project, the end product. Do you know what I mean? So just having that mindset from the get-go, it dictates what you're doing in the studio, what instrumentals you're choosing, how you're directing the producers, the engineering, what do you call it? When it comes to track listing, what are you considering? Do you know what I mean? The overall stories within the project, like, do you know what I mean? It, like, that mindset informs all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know what I mean? It comes out. So 100%, like, the difference in recording, as far as mindset between Blue K and Lambeth Not LA, is like night and day. So yeah, 100%.
And I think I can hear that. I can definitely hear the difference in, I guess, on Blue K having the individual songs and then being separate in comparison to Lambeth Not LA. That felt a lot more cohesive. It felt, because you had skits as well, and it felt as though it was made with a purpose.
Yeah.
And I think I appreciate that. And it sounds like, you know, the conversation we're having about albums in comparison to mixtapes, that gave me an album feel. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
So yeah, it felt like a walk through Lambeth, ultimately. And what kind of story were you trying to tell with the skits and the mini tracks?
I think with the skits, you know, I think oftentimes, like, projects that set out to tell a story about, like, environment, yeah, especially in rap, like, I find that too often, like, they hone in on one experience. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if we're looking at the classics here, not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like for me, it's just not real life. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, when I'm listening to older rap projects, like classics, like, I mean, like The Infamous, or, you know what I mean? Like, I can name so many, like America's Most Wanted. Like, there's like a nihilism and a despondence and like a darkness that's like ever present on the album. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a real emotion. That's a real emotion that you're going to go through if you're actually from this area. But it's not the whole thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not real life. Do you know what I mean? When I was growing up, it wasn't like that. No one I grew up with felt like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, the whole time. You know, so I wanted to make a project that was like, it reflected the nuances and like essentially like the scale of feelings when you're coming from an area like mine, innit? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, there's a lot of stuff, especially as far as like the weight of it. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like, again, when artists set out to make projects like, you know, in the vein of Lambeth Not LA, like talking to something like bigger than themselves, innit? Like, they tend to get a bit melodramatic with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, again, that's not life. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're growing up in an area like this, yeah, life-changing stuff will happen to you and like you just wake up the next day. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how it really is. Do you know what I mean? So like, the situations that I'm describing on Lambeth Not LA, yeah, every single one of them is like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? And then the next one, like, it wasn't like, oh, like, this is just so, like, it just morphed my whole mind. Like, it morphed my mind and my experience on a subconscious level. But I didn't realize that until after the fact. Do you know what I mean? In reality, we experience things in constant motion. Do you know what I mean? Things happen and we keep going. Do you know what I mean? That's how it was. So it's like, I wanted the project to reflect that. I didn't want it to dwell on one emotion or thought. Like, so with the skits here, do you know what I mean? There's no order to the minute. The skits simply introduce the next song's thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're there as quickly as they go because that's how it really felt. Do you know what I mean? If like the man could be talking about morality and mortality and God and like where we fit into these things, and then do you know what I mean? Then talk about like the babes were trying to juice. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how it really was. You know, like we didn't.
Life.
That's real. Yeah, that's real.
It's real life.
Exactly,
It's actually real
exactly.
life.
Shout out to Dumb
Real
Raven,
life.
man. Shout out to Dumb Raven. Oh man, it's like, yeah, like, you know, the lives we were living didn't really allow us to linger too much in these heavy thoughts and feelings in it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we had our moments where it's like, cool, I'm feeling this now. Do you know what I mean? But it was never really something that like was ever present in it. So like on the LAMBETHNOTLA, like that's what dictated. Like that was the logic behind the skits. Do you know what I mean? Cool. Introduce a thought. We're out. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like,
hear it.
so it's like,
You sound very good at compartmentalizing.
I am.
Yeah, you sound, and I guess I'm curious about with you compartmentalizing how that might impact some of the more emotional songs, and I guess how you remove yourself in the process of making those emotional songs.
I say, obviously, again, like it's to do with two things in it. As far as like Hey, English. Hey. Oh, I rapped it. Compartmentalizing, innit? Like, I'll say, obviously, my upbringing, like, do you know what I mean? My mum was proper stoic, innit? She still is. I don't really know why, do you know what I mean? Like, she's proper on this, cool, like, just tough up, do you know what I mean? Like, just firm it, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, she wasn't really, like, outwardly, like, affectionate, do you know what I mean, to me. And it's like, oh, okay, all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, do you know what I mean?
This is what it is.
At some point, I was like, cool. Okay, do you know what I mean?
Life.
You know, and then like when I'm going out into the world and I'm interacting with people, it's like, cool. So that's what happens when you don't compartmentalize. You begin to like fall apart, and life is really doing you. And like I was at a point here where it's like, cool. I reached like 15, and it clicked. I was like, okay, like. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the time to deal with this and like do what I'm meant to be doing. As far as even then, it was just school innit. But like even then, like the amount I was going through, it was like cool. I can't process this in the way it's meant to be processed. Like, do you know what I mean? Taking time to process it because I'm waking up and life is still going. Do you know what I mean? I still have responsibilities to attend to. I still have. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, cool. We gotta keep chugging. So it's like that's ingrained in me now, innit? So when I'm approaching my songs, like. What do you call it? When I'm saying certain things, like people think like it's hard for me to say certain things in it, but it's like when I'm writing these things, it's not like there's a sentimentality that should be there, but because of the way I've been able to compartmentalize, like it's just a thought. Do you know what I mean? It's just this is just how I feel. You know, like I don't really feel any way about saying this. Do you know what I mean? It's just that next thought. You know what I mean? So as far as when I'm approaching songs here, like usually. When there's songs about sad things, like the artist wants to make you feel sad. They want to, do you know what I mean? Like they want to impart that onto you, innit? Whereas with me, I don't really have that in it. It's like I'm just telling you what happened. You know, how you feel about it is up to your interpretation. But this is what happened. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll say that's how it affects my songwriting. Do you know what I mean? As far as like when I'm writing about the more emotional stuff in it. So yeah.
And I think I'm curious about why that struck me the most. And like, I guess LAMBETHNOTLA, it doesn't just like hone in on like the more sad aspects of things that you've seen, but for some reason Icarus is like, I think that's the song that kind of touched me the most, and I think that's why I'm highlighting it so much, because I think in comparison to the other songs, that was the one I couldn't really get past. That was the one that was like,
stuck with you, innit?
Yeah, man, that was really stuck with me.
Yeah,
I think it's because I recognize the story as well.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? So because I can see the characters in the story. Yeah, I think that's
100%,
it definitely touched.
Yeah, very visceral, very much in your face, and it's almost as if like you're there with them. It's like, you know those videos where sometimes it's maybe like the I Ain't Mad At You video where Tupac's just watching everything. He's watching the world go by, advising and stuff. You almost feel like when you're listening to Icarus, you're kind of that person. And you're just watching this happen. You're kind of powerless to stop it. You know what I'm saying? But at least that's the feeling I got from it anyway.
100%. And it's like, that's what life is. Do you know what I mean? A lot of times you're watching stuff unfold and you can't do anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
Do you know what I mean? That's just how it is. You know, so it's like, cool. Are you gonna let every time you watch something bad, are you gonna let it rock you, or are you gonna be able to Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I'm making a song like Icarus, yeah, it's written in the way it's written. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't really want to get hooked on the sentiment. Do you know what I mean? It's like, cause like that's not what it's about. It's about the fact that this is something that we move past. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I'm writing it from a place where cool, like this isn't something that anyone ever processed. Do you know what I mean? It just happened. Do you know what I mean? So it's like when I'm writing it as I'm seeing it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like cool. There's like when I'm looking at the writing of that song, yeah, like I'll say the song is sad, but the writing of it is not written in a way to where like I'm trying to evoke that emotion. It's sad because what happened is sad. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But as far as the way I'm seeing it, it's just playing out. It's just like I guess I approach projects like scenes, innit? Do you know what I mean? As far as like projects like films even, you know, and like with some scenes, yeah, like, you know, like if I'm imagining myself as a director, like I don't need to tell the actors to trump up what's happening. Do you know what I mean? I don't need there to be rain on this scene. This scene is just a sad scene. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's it. So like I can strip everything down and just show you what's happening, and then, you know, let the audience like take it from there as far as like understanding what's going on and what, do you know what I mean, what happened and why it happened. So yeah,
You're like a news reporter in that sense.
Yeah. How did you put that song together? As far as, because to me, I think there's a difference between narration and storytelling, and that's a really brilliant storytelling song for me. And I think I'm curious about how you did it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think again,
Because you can narrate the story, you can narrate what you've seen, but I think there's a difference between that and putting it together and like a really detailed story, like the way you did.
I think oftentimes with storytelling songs where like there's it's sad. Do you know what I mean? Rappers will like get too bogged down in trying to tell the audience, this is sad, guys, this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening. Do you know what I mean? Like they fall into the trap of like moralizing, innit? Do you know what I mean? Or like trying to make sure their audience understands why they're telling the story. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like when I'm coming into writing stories, yeah, when I've decided, cool, I'm gonna write a story about this. Do you know what I mean? I'm not approaching it from, oh, I need to impart this message. Like there's a message I need to give. I was just writing it because I just wanted to write it. Do you know? So like when I'm approaching, cool, the first verse being about, you know, my mother's introduction to her friend and her brother, is so that you can understand. Like that's like contextualizing what happens. Do you know what I mean? A sad scene isn't sad by itself. Do you know what I mean? You have to watch what happened, everything that happened before it, to understand that. So it's like to understand why it's sad, that no one did anything. Do you know what I mean? You have to understand that this is something that was telegraphed. You know what I mean? You have to understand that this is someone that was normal one time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Then we move to the second scene. You know what I mean? That's how I see my memories. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like, you know, like I see them as fragments, innit? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, cool. My first memory of someone, it might be here. Then my second one, months, years later. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because that's how that works. You know, what do you call it? Because like, again, another thing is that people often get bogged down in like trying to tell every little detail. And it's like, that doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter to the consumer that's like, never met this person. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can get to the crux of the story, the crux being that this is someone who everybody saw had a problem, no one did anything, and now they're suffering because of it. That's like, I approached it like that. When I'm writing it, it's like, cool, that's what happened. All I need to do is flesh these three things out. And then like, the listener, I'm trusting that they're intelligent enough to take it, like, and like interpret it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when I'm writing it, yeah, like essentially I start with the bare bones of like, okay, cool, here, and then working around it and then putting it together. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, like that's how I approach the storytelling cuts in general. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And then with the first tune on the project where you're just barring off, I guess it's not the same process.
No. Essentially, yeah, that's the first track I done for LAMBETHNOTLA. That's the first track I recorded, and like essentially what it was, yeah, I was in my room, my uni come here on like a Friday or Saturday or something. Like I was just chilling. Do you know what I mean? And I was listening to Good Kid. You know what I mean? I was listening to the intro, and I was like, no, mums, I can do this. I swear I can do this. Do you know what I mean? And then I sat down, I had the track on loop, and I did it. Do you know what I mean? You know, like with that, yeah, it was more so cool. Like I've been wanting to talk about Dumb Raven Babes, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had this on my chest for a long time, but I didn't have the necessary tools to do it. Do you know what I mean? So cool. How can I do this in a way that's also fits into the project? Okay. Personification. Cool. Let's do that. Do you know what I mean? And then I just took the story. Like I think that song took me like, I think I wrote it in like 45 minutes, 50 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's one of them ones where I just let the words lead me. Do you know what I mean? Like I didn't stop to think about structure specifically. I was just letting, cool, the next sentence flow into the next sentence, and then, you know what I mean? So long, I knew I had the end in mind. Do you know what I mean? So everything before that, cool. Take it where it's, go where it's going. Do you know what I mean? So long as we get to the end. So yeah, that's how I approached it. It was much more free flowing in that sense. So yeah.
And you hadn't heard the beat before that. You had written it without the beat, I'm assuming.
Nah. Like the way in which the actual recording of the song happened, yeah. I was in Birmingham. I was in a session with J.C, big up J.C. And you know what I mean? There's someone that like, I knew that he has obviously like a soulful R&B influence sound, innit? Do you know what I mean? So I've gone in knowing that I'm going to record this song. I don't know what it's going to sound like, but I'm recording it. So cool. Introductions, we've heard each other up. He sat down. The first beat he's played from his laptop was that beat. I was like, that's the one. We're going to record it. And then we recorded it. Do you know what I mean? And then that's how that happened, innit? So like, with that song, I let the lyrics, you know what I mean? Like the feel of the lyrics dictate what the music would sound like, as far as like, yeah, like I had no clue what it was going to sound like. I just knew, yeah, man, I need something that sets the tone of the project. Because once I wrote it, I knew it was going to be the intro. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, 100, that's how we run it.
So in the grand scheme of things, as much as your music is a reflection of your life, does your music in the same breath kind of help you understand life a little bit more and what's happened in your life up to this point?
Yeah, because with the type of music I make, you have to self-reflect a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't, there's certain things that you can't ignore in your own life if you actually want to be able to consistently make music that's introspective and thoughtful and rare. So it's like, a lot of the stuff that like maybe I had like moved past or like not processed or like not considered, do you know what I mean? Like, making music in the vein that I make it, you have to consider that. Do you know what I mean? You have to go back and say, alright, cool, I'm looking at this now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking it in the face, you know, and not blink. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, in that process, naturally, it's helped me understand myself as a human. Like, alright, cool. Because like, there'll be songs, yeah, where it's like, I want to say why something is happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to say, like, just people in general, like, people do something. And now I realize I do that. And I'll say, hold on, why am I doing that? Do you know what I mean? And then I'll have to go back to why I'm doing it. And like, do you know what I mean? Whatever conclusion I draw from that, I draw from that. You know what I mean? But like, that therefore, like, my music and the way in which I make music therefore informs like my understanding of me and like things I've been through. So 100%, it's therefore helped me. Do you know what I mean?
Dope, man. So what's your favourite track from LAMBETHNOTLA?
Oh, that's easy. Matanga. Easy. Easy. That's my favourite track up until now, innit? I feel like it's such a like a singular expression. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's the first time like I ever wrote a song in the manner that I wrote that song. So like, I was on YouTube like searching type beats. Yeah, cool. Man's found that beat. I've said, cool, I'm writing this song. Do you know what I mean? And I wrote it in like 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Simply because, yeah, I had the first line came into my head. I was like, alright, cool, we're taking it. Do you know what I mean? And then I just let the words lead me as far as what I was going to say in it. Like, it was just one of them ones where it's like, I didn't even know where some of this stuff was coming from. I listened back to it now, I was like, do you know what I mean? I don't even know how I feel. Like, it feels like almost spiritual, do you know what I'm trying to say? In a sense where it's like, I wasn't really considering what I was saying, do you know what I mean? I was just talking. Like, and the fact that it came out to a song like that, do you know what I mean? Like, I hold it. Like, it's got a special place in my heart still. Do you know what I mean? So I'll say that's my favourite song of the project. Just because of like the process of making it and like the thoughts I was able to express in that 100%. So yeah, man. That's my favourite, man.
And as far as like your hopes for your career in music, are there a few things you know you want to do or achieve? And what would they be?
want to be able to make music full time. That'd be great. You know what I mean? Just, you know, like to be able to have the space to like, cool, focus on creating fully. That's obviously kind of like, I think people, like consumers, underestimate how many just don't make it to that. Do you know what I mean? So that in and of itself, I see it as an achievement, 100%. As far as anything else, yeah, accolades are just so tired, man. I couldn't, do you know what I mean? Like,
That's why I didn't ask.
Yeah, you know what I mean? As far as achievements, yeah. Oh man, I just want to make a classic, man. You know what I mean? I just want to make projects that like aren't trapped in the context they're made in. Like projects that are like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? This is great. Do you know what I mean? And not because like, you know, I want to be seen as like, a legend or whatever, like, you know, I just think that I want to because I think I can. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it doesn't really run any deeper than that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, because I think I can, like, I have a duty to now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like, I say that's an achievement for man. And like, anything else after that is really a bonus. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, anything else that comes with music, like, you know, like, hey man, I'm welcoming it. So yeah, short list. I can't lie.
Do you have a list of dream collaborations, producers, rappers, singers?
You know what? Funny enough, no, actually. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like.
I'm not surprised by that.
You know what? You know what? It makes sense. I can't like everything's making.
Yeah, because it's like, like, I think about, I don't think about it often, but recently I've been thinking about it, innit? And like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think like, there's no artist that like, I'm dreaming of in the sense of like, yeah, like I think that like we can make the perfect song because like that's not how it's worked. Do you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, yeah, like everyone I've worked with has been a bit of a misfit. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't have any big name features on LAMBETHNOTLA. I didn't work with any high profile producers. I was just working with people that made me feel something. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, as far as that, yeah, that's not really something I can predict. Do you know what I mean? So like, as far as the music I want to make, the only prerequisite I have is that like it makes me feel something in it. As far as that, yeah, like there's no one that's like, oh, like I'd be honored to work with them, like, do you know what I mean? That is so tired. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like there's no one I really like I have that type of reverence for in it because it's like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, no, like, you know, just because like I like someone's music or like I really love someone's music, yeah, doesn't mean that I need to make music with them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it doesn't have to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's like, you know, like what would me and Jay-Z be doing on a song together? Do you know what I mean? Or me and a Kendrick, like that is so, no one wants to hear that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like, especially because like the way in which I'm approaching the music, like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I want to make the best music I can, but primarily, I'm making music for expression, do you know what I mean? And like having dream collabs like doesn't really have anything to do with that, do you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, the way I approach it, it's like, cool, like whoever I work with, like, do you know what I mean? As long as we're on the same wavelength, that's all that matters, like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I already have.
And that could be anyone.
Yeah, literally. Like,
that's a fact.
So yeah, man, I can't say I have any dream collabs.
How do you feel about the status of, I guess, the UK scene at the moment?
Status in what regards?
Quality content, artists you like, artists you don't, just the general feel of the scene, whether it's mainstream, underground.
I think music is very diverse right now. I have an appreciation for that. You know what I mean? I have an appreciation for the fact that like an artist that like would have never got the support of like the mainstream music infrastructure 10, 15 years ago can come out now and build their own fan base doing their own music. I love that. Do you know what I mean? Because it's opened me up. It's made me better as an artist because like I've been exposed to a lot of artists that otherwise I wouldn't have heard. Do you know what I mean? So I appreciate the fact that that diversity exists in, you know what I mean, like UK music today in a way that I don't really think it has before. Do you know what I mean? Like I think it's like to the level at which it exists now, like it's very much novel, innit? Do you know what I mean? I also think that, you know, what do you call it? Like as far as the mainstream, tired, nax. Do you know what I mean? And I think because of that, yeah, like unfortunately because of that, like a a lot of people, what do you call it, are like, what's it, like, a lot of people are getting like hyped as like the ones to take over in it. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, when I'm looking at their music just for their music and not, you know, whatever they really represent or rare tell and not everything outside of the music, it's, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that. Like, it can be like, there'll be artists that are like, yeah, I think they're good, or yeah, like, I think that they're really good, or do you know what I mean? Rare tell, like, I like their body of work, but it's like, do you know what I mean? There's this like, it's like a counter reaction. Do you know what I mean? Like, cool, because the mainstream is nax. Anything that comes out that's alternative is a classic. Do you know what I mean? And I don't subscribe to that.
I hear you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's not really because, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like, it's not really in a disrespect sense of way. It's just that, do you know what I mean? Like, we can have high standards. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can set the bar high if we want to. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to take anything just because it's different. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll say overall positive, but do you know what I mean? Like, we need to put an embargo on certain artists. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's certain artists, yeah, that, like, man, I'm trying to sell me that are good, yeah. Everybody can't have Elohim flow, guys. Like, everybody can't. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Everybody can't be a legend. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, we're getting to a point. It gets to a point. You know what I mean? And it's like, I care about his music so much, and I really, really care about it. Like, I'm passionate about like just the music. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like, maybe my standards are a bit higher than everyone else's in it. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like we should be demanding a lot more of our artists before we crown them in it. Do you know what I mean? Everything doesn't have to be considered groundbreaking because it's different. It can just be different and good for what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I even think it's slightly unfair to artists when, like, you lot give them this type of, like, label in it, because, you know what I mean, a lot of these artists don't live up to that, and then, like, they suffer for it. Do you know what I mean? So I think ultimately it's even unfair to the artist before even, like, the art and, do you know what I mean, the state of the scene in general, innit? So it's like, yeah, no, I just wish we'd stop doing that. But, like, overall, like, I think we're Gucci, innit?
So, like, the next to blow, like, ushering in the new era of XYZ.
Yeah, like,
listen, I'm guilty of that as a writer. I'm guilty of that. But ultimately, it's a feeling that you have at the time that, okay, this person could really stand the test of time. Doesn't always work out, but, you know, it's almost like taking a bet and not always winning, sort of thing.
Yeah, it happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, obviously, because of the space we're in, yeah, it's a very exciting time, and, like, it's very, like, we're getting a lot of artists now genuinely breaking new ground in it. So it's like, I feel like everyone that's, like, in a commentary position, or, like, just as a consumer, like, is in that, like, reactionary space. Do you know what I mean? Where, like, anything that's new, this is the one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's like, we actually just don't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Just take time.
It's a reaction.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, man, like, obviously I understand why it happens, and I know that it won't stop. Do you know what I mean? But I just wish that it didn't. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I say that. That's the only thing I'll say that, like, do you know what I mean? I'm a little bit unhappy with, do you know what I mean? But aside from that.
Yeah. On the flip of that, though, I do feel like the underground / alternative artists could benefit from consumers being a bit more open, as far as, like, being open to new sounds and being open to new perspectives. You know, not just expecting, you know, NSG or J Hus to continuously feed you, because, you know, it's not always going to happen. It's not always going to run. So I feel like there should be, I mean, I don't think there's any reason why, for example, a Strand should be bigger. You know what I'm saying? He very much fits all the bill of what you would want from someone. People should be more open to him and people like him and stuff like that. So I do think there should be, it's like a push and pull type of thing. Like, there should be, we should be, as consumers, not so quick to, like, deem this person as the next person, but also at the same time show an interest or be open if the music moves you. So
no, 100. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will say overall, like, it's a good thing that, you know what I mean, like, people are so vocal with, like, artists that they deem as the next in it, and, like, they're not waiting for, like, certain things to happen before they say, yeah, that's the one in it. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, that has allowed a lot of artists to break into, you know what I mean, like, new space that they wouldn't have had that not been happening. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I see the positive in it for sure. You know what I mean? For sure. Like, you know, so yeah.
What's the one rap album you listen to forever and not get bored?
Oh, it's tough because I got more than one art song. But I feel like I gotta find an essential one, innit? Like,
could be more than one.
Cool. I think, I have to. I think Good Kid, Mad City. I think that's there for me. Like number one in it. Like I feel like that changed the way I saw albums in it. Do you know what I mean? Like when I listened to that, I've been listening to that for years now in it, obviously. But 100%. Like that's something that I think has stood the test of time. Obviously, Big Fish Theory.
Bang,
That's my ledge, man. I can't believe I didn't put Vince Staples in my 5. Oh, that was a howler. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Big Fish Theory, I think it's blown my mind from when I first heard it. Crazy. I think I could listen to that forever.
Crabs in a bucket. Oof.
That's
That 2-step.
The UK
You know about
did
that 2-step, P?
I don't know about that
You
two-step.
know about that 2-step, Mark?
I don't know about that two-step.
Salute to Vince Staples, though.
Yeah, man. I think he's amazing, man. I think our third would probably be like Training Day 3. I think for sure. You know what I mean? I think that's just like, that's one of them. It does what it says on the till. You know what I mean? I mean on the can even. Yeah, man. That's real raps. And it's like, I feel like it's actually aged pretty well as far as like the album that came like COVID. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Like 5 years in, I'm still listening. So 5 years on, I imagine. 5 years more, even. I imagine I'll still be listening. So yeah, man. That's my list as of right now.
Yeah, man. And you have a very interesting relationship with like TikTok and social media. You know what I mean? You're very opinionated when you want to be. How do you feel like you utilize it? Do you use it like as a marketing tool, or is it just a way for you to just share your thoughts about whatever's popping off for the day?
Oh man, it's WWE, man. Everything's marketing. You know what I mean? I think before I ever released a song, I realized quickly that no one cares about you being an underground rapper. If you just release a song, the people that follow you will listen to it, and Asha, whatever it does from there, it's not in your control anymore. So you have to find a way to make people care. You know what I mean? And in the time that I was coming up, I saw that, okay, cool, every underground rapper was like trying to make themselves cool or distinct in some way or form. Nothing wrong with that, but everyone was doing it, which meant that it was way harder to do. So I had to take a look at what I could do with my means. And one thing I can always do is talk. Do you know what I mean? And like, I knew that all I needed was to amass people that believed in my personality, and I just take it from there. Do you know what I mean? So, which is exactly what happened. And I've realized now that me being opinionated and me not, you know what I mean, hiding my opinion on things or whatever the case may be, like it humanizes me in a way that like underground rappers usually don't consider in it. And like with that humanizing, like people are more invested now because they can see, oh, you're a real person. Do you know what I mean? You're not just the guy that releases music. You know what I mean? Like you don't just talk to us. When you have something to give us, like you're talking just to talk. It's like that in and of itself has helped. Do you know what I mean? It's also part of like almost what makes my music like so unique in it. And as far as like, do you know what I mean? Like I don't really have anything that I will not say. Do you know what I mean? And as far as like for rappers, yeah, like there's a lot of rappers, yeah, where like you can tell that like, do you know what I mean? They're not really trying to get too much into their personal lives. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not why they do music. Nothing wrong with that. But with me, my personal life is why I do music. Do you know what I mean? So it's like me being someone that like I talk. Do you know what I mean? That's just an extension of what I'm doing on my music anyway. So it's like once people buy into that, they buy into the music. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it helps. But like, even if that wasn't the case, I'd probably still be the same anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So it's just, it's who I am genuinely, and it just conveniently happens to help. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, man. And I like the nice touch that you put in your TikTok videos. You have the Boondocks theme song at the background.
That's wavy.
That's some deep shit's going down.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean?
Is that good?
At the end of the day, man, like, to be honest, yeah, like the first time I picked it, it was actually like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was actually like just like my first saved one, innit? Do you know what I mean? But like, people, like, it was weird, innit? Like, people changed the way in which they engaged with what I was saying because of that. It was like brainwashing, like, it was like mind control. I was like, oh, okay, I got you,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Say no more. So yeah, like, just I guess, like, just almost like leaning into that, innit? So yeah, man.
Any big plans for 2025?
Oh yeah, man. I got so many songs in the pipeline. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, this has been like since Lambeth Not LA, like I've been collaborating in a way that like, I haven't really before. Innit? Do you know what I mean? As far as like working with other artists, so it's like I've got a lot of collaborations loaded. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I'm working towards a project, the name of which is a secret. I know management will watch this. You know what I mean? But that's gonna come out third quarter, fourth quarter, around them times, innit? So it's gonna be a late year release. But as far as everything before that, yeah, man, we're going on a little bit of a run. Yeah, and like as far as the plans for the music, it's gonna be different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not too. It's not too different, but it's gonna be different. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? We're not rehashing anything that was on Lambeth Not LA. So yeah, that, I say
This guy's
that's
gonna be
my
rapping on Bossa Nova.
Can't lie, man. Like one thing about me, I'm a bit of a contrarian, innit? Do you know what I mean? So it's like I seen people call me like, oh, like conscious # real rap. Just a bit, one too many times, innit? It just rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, ah, cool, watch this. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
See, I was gonna mention conscious, but I didn't wanna. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I understand. Do you know what I mean?
Because it's not that really, but
Yeah.
There's
You have-
there's fragments.
like you have a view of your world, and all of a sudden you're conscious. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's lazy. It's
Do
very
you know what I
lazy.
mean? I think it's reductive, innit?
Yeah.
You know, cause like I haven't really said anything in the vein of that. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just not dumb. You know what I'm trying to say? As soon as they see
But you're
it,
not dressed like them, man, either.
exactly. Like as soon as it's like,
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
Put the koofies in that.
Come on.
yeah, man.
Come
we
on.
know how they dress, man.
Talib circa 03. Like, come on.
He would have been in Brooklyn.
Hey,
I hear it.
bean pies. Come on.
I hear it, man.
You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, do you know what I mean? Like I see people like it's like a reductive reaction to Lambeth Not LA, and like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I see what this is. Do you know what I mean? So okay, I'm not doing that anymore. Do you know what I mean? Simply because of that.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So yeah, like I think Lambeth Not, or the project after Lambeth Not LA, like it's gonna have the things that made me as an artist. Do you know what I mean? But you know, through a different lens, 100%. So yeah, man.
What you can ask for, man.
That's at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I can't lie. I think this year is gonna be a big year for man. Yeah, man.
We'll be watching, man.
Yeah, man.
sure,
Absolutely
for sure,
tuned in, man.
For sure.
100,
You know?
100.
Any more questions, boys?
Which part of London has the best MCs?
Oh shit, yeah.
Are
North, south, east, or west?
we talking just all time or
All time.
eras? Like,
time.
All time, man. Just borrowers.
cool. It's gonna sound biased, but it's a South thing still.
Okay,
Do you know
alright,
what I
cool.
mean? It's a South thing.
I accept
Do you know
that,
what I
man.
mean?
Of course you would.
Okay, now Mo, ask your question.
How can I wear this? If you kept it to a borough, just like one postcode,
Oh, that's Lambeth, man.
Was his
come
answer
out
supposed to change?
who come out of Lambeth?
What?
How many people
We
come out of
did
Lambeth?
that whole thing.
I mean, I don't even have to touch Joe. That's arting. Do you know what I mean? Dave, Young Steph. We're claiming Blade Brown. You know what I mean? He's
Jeez.
from Battersea.
All of that.
You know what I mean?
I hear
Come
you,
on.
man. No, I hear you, man. I hear you,
Team
man.
Raw, like
PDC?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, do you know
PDC.
what I mean? Like PDC, OC.
PD,
like,
are you not claim PDC?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Offshoot of Roadside G's. What you talking about?
Charger's definitely from.
Georgia's from Brixton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a Lambeth.
You said borough, brother.
I take borough back, one postcode.
Oh, so when you say one postcode,
Yeah, he changed the question.
Tottenham,
He just
one
wants it to be
postcode,
Tottenham,
M17.
innit? He's trying to like shape it in a way to make sure that
let
the
me make
answer's
sense of what
Tottenham.
I'm saying real quick. When I say who's got the best rappers, I'm not talking about north, east, south, west. I'm not talking about Haringey versus Lambeth. I'm saying, you see how Tottenham's just one area. No one's produced more rappers in one singular area. Like Tottenham's an area,
Okay,
Wood Green's an
I
area.
see your angle now.
One area, one postcode, because
see, I
N15
had to
don't
filter
count.
it.
N1,
Man.
yeah, I'm just saying one area.
You got shot
But it's
at.
like, let's just
Price
say
low to high.
No,
Yeah.
because I can't. No, because I can't control what Manor House is on. I can't control what Wood Green's on. I can't control what Highbury's on. I'm telling you, Tottenham, N17 and N15, if you want to count it, just one singular area. No one does more than Tottenham.
What about E3 though?
That's got like
That
two,
was my
three
vote.
max.
That was
yeah, but
my
that's got
vote.
like two.
I said E3.
That's got like 2, 3.
2,
Tottenham's
3 what?
got 7, 8,
2,
9,
3 what
10
though?
goals.
Yeah, but them goats
You're
alone
changing-
might be
you're
clearing a lot of them
changing it.
Tottenham man.
You're saying rappers or goats?
No, just rappers. Just no, because he said E3, and I said E3's got like 2 goals. But when you just talk about rappers in that amount, Tottenham's got too many.
Fam, Kano
Avelino's from
alone
Tottenham.
is...
What do you say?
What about
Kano
what about-
alone
Kano
is getting
cool,
a lot
but
of
then-
Tottenham man out of here, man.
No, he's gonna get them out of here. But then when you go Skepta, Rich, Avelino,
Okay, so
Chip,
your thing is just cool. You've got the
Heady,
most.
it just becomes
Yeah.
1, 2,
just got
3,
the
4,
most.
5,
Just
6,
got
7,
the
8.
most.
That don't really mean
So I
anything
see it.
though. We're talking about
I
lyrics.
really
It's what
it.
bar.
Bro, like anyone listens to Bossman Birdie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
Again,
Don't do that, man.
That's actually mad.
He's a legend. Don't do
No,
that.
that's mad.
He's a legend.
That's mad.
He's a legend.
He's a
Nah,
legend.
I
man.
want to
He is
apologize.
a
That's
legend.
mad.
Show
disrespect.
to
I
you
want,
that.
I want you to look at the camera and say that Bossman Birdie is a legend.
He's an
Yo,
OG.
why are you saying his
No,
name
look at
twice?
the camera.
like that?
He's an
Why are you saying his
OG.
name twice?
OG.
No, but that's not.
He's an OG.
You've come from the most school of sinning.
He's an OG.
Cool,
What
cool.
you
But
mean, man? Don't do that, man.
when I'm saying who's got the best rappers, that's all I mean. I'm just saying if you keep it to a singular area, like if you say north, south, east, west, I'm not arguing. I don't have time to argue for north. I couldn't care less. I'm just telling you when it comes to one area where Tottenham is too many. It's the numbers are stupid. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. The numbers are unfair on Tottenham's
You
side.
do make the
Yeah,
rules.
you definitely made the
You
rules.
definitely made the rules.
Come on, I'll give you that though.
I didn't make the rules. I followed
I'll
them.
give you
sir.
that though.
Don't blame me for
follow
Tottenham.
the rules you
What
make.
we've got, it's an abundance of people.
I'll give you
Like
that, bro.
it is. Bro. It's actually stupid when you look
man.
Jamie Skepta. Like, come on, man. Rich, Avelino, Chip.
It's calm.
Loki could claim Scorcher if I want. I think.
Yeah, well, on that note,
You're welcome, by the way.
on that note, what?
You know, you're welcome, man.
For what?
If it wasn't for Tottenham, who knows where it would have been.
What?
South London's right there, you know.
Scat, man.
God bless you guys.
You're a different guy, bro.
Take South London out of the equation. We're not here.
Oh, that's a fact. I agree with
We're not
that.
here.
I agree. But like I said, I'm not talking for North. I really couldn't care less about North. Like, I don't care about Frizzy Park.
Some shit
Couldn't care less
representative,
about
bro.
Edmonton, man. Would you say?
You're a poor
Terrible
man.
representative, bro.
Of what? North?
Yes, bro.
North could go to hell, bro.
This is why Flashy cooked you in the
I speak for
This is why Flashy cooked you, bro.
Flashy. No, I'm joking. I was about to say Flashy could go to hell. No,
Anyway,
I'm
before we say
I'm joking,
anything, Ceebo, thank you very much for coming down, man.
Yeah, man. Big
Bro,
up, man.
it
Big up,
genuinely is a
man.
pleasure, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man. You're a breath of fresh air, and we hope you progress, man. Especially the way you want to, man. So appreciate you coming down, man.
Man, I appreciate being here. You know, the platform such as this, you know what I mean? It's champions music, that's what it's about.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
So, right, I'm happy to be here.
Appreciate you, man.
Big up, man. Big up.
How can people reach you?
Instagram, the Ceebogram, TikTok, Ceebo SW, Twitter, Ceebo SWeezy, you know what I mean? Music, please Ceebo, you know what I mean? All platforms, YouTube, Tidal Music, Deezer, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere, bro. You know what I mean? Just get at me. Yeah, man.
Nice. And listen to LAMBETHNOTLA. Great project.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
That's the recommendation that we make for
Word.
today. But that'll do it for another episode, boys. Any shout-outs?
Nah, man. Big up the Most High, man.
All the time.
Always, man.
Hey, big up Mimi, I'm rocking with you. You know what I mean?
Salute to Mimi.
Yeah, big up Mimi, man.
Big up
Always.
me always. Big up me. Big up everybody, man. Big up
Yeah,
everybody.
man.
Yeah, man. I don't have no shots.
Yeah, man.
Shout out
Let
to
people
the
have
man.
their opinions, man.
Would you say?
Let people have their
Yeah, man.
opinions.
Don't police
100, bro.
people's opinions, man.
100.
We'll sign off. So, until next time, take care, stay safe, stay blessed.
Stay black.
Peace.
Peace.
My Marjane knew this brother through a friend. In the end, met an OT back when grind was a trend. Immigrant was new with hopes of starting again. Then an Izzy and his name was Izzy Lee, says just pretend. And he was one of the men that would develop a habit. Cigarette fuse because the stress of life couldn't hack it.